there, welcome to the weekly check-in. I'm Lou and I'm so glad you're here with me. So this video is going to cover the week of October 11th until October 17th. So this week we have Pluto moving direct in Capricorn. We have Mars moving into Scorpio, but the big key event, the major event for this week is going to be the Libra solar eclipse happening on Saturday. So this is a really exciting eclipse, exciting things happening, new things coming with this eclipse. So to find out what that means for you individually, remember to check out your rising sign first if you know it, and then your sun and your moon sign to fill in the extra detail. So the timestamps will be in the description box down below, and I will see you in your reading. I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I'm working from today, the Kumbankia people, and recognize their continued connection to their land and their culture. I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging, and I acknowledge that this is and always will be Aboriginal land. Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your weekly check-in. Now this week, the main event this week is going to be the solar eclipse that is happening in Libra, in your 7th house, in your opposite sign, okay? So this eclipse is the first solar eclipse in this cycle. This cycle started back in your season, back in April with your lunar eclipse. Okay, and this is starting a new cycle that's going to last until 2025. So you had the North Node move into your sign, the South Node moved into Libra. That first house, 7th house axis is lit up here with the nodes and with the eclipses for the next year and a half. So this is an important storyline. It's coming up now because with the eclipse, it's a new beginning. The solar eclipse represents a new fresh start, fresh burst of energy, something coming in. It may feel very uncomfortable. We have the Tower card here, okay? Now, the other thing that's happening this week is that your ruling planet Mars is going to move into Scorpio, into your 8th house. This is that Tower energy, okay? The 8th house is Mars rules Scorpio. It's moving into rulership, okay? And it's moving into, it rules your 8th house, so it's moving into its rulership in that way as well. So it's going to be very strong, it's going to be potent, and Mars likes to bring change. The 8th house is about power and control, it's about your own personal empowerment, and so there's going to be quick and sudden changes when Mars moves across the cusp here with this Tower card. Maybe dramatic changes, something dramatic coming up in your life, maybe it's to do with money, okay, because the 8th house also rules other people's money. It's definitely going to have something to do with your partnerships, okay? Most likely your marriage partnerships could be business partnerships because of that 7th house, and we're in Libra season. So there's some big change, some big focus coming up with that. Now, with the 8th house, we are encouraged to dive deep into our inner psyche. So we're encouraged to look at what makes us tick, what drives us, what is bringing these things up for you. So whatever comes up, whatever's shifting, whatever's changing for you, there's a need to look back across your lifespan, 6 of Cups, across into childhood maybe, or into like previous times when you felt the same way. That's where the answers are coming from. Now we have share your thoughts is the advice here this week. And with that 8th house, it's a house of our vulnerability as well. So you're looking at places where you feel vulnerable. So sharing your thoughts may feel very vulnerable. 6 of Cups, okay, may feel like this Tower energy if you're having to share thoughts that is not comfortable for you to share, or things share in a way that you haven't had much practice at doing in from that more vulnerable space, if that's coming up for you this week, especially around that eclipse, okay, with your partner. But that's what's really required of you here to make any sort of headway areas. You need to be open in your communication, sharing your thoughts, sharing your opinions, your ideas, and especially sharing how you feel in that vulnerable space. When we open up and share our thoughts with other people, share this part of ourselves with other people, it enables a deeper level of connection. So really this whole week is about connection with the 7th house eclipse, the Mars in the 8th house. You know, it's Libra season, so there's that 7th house energy is heightened. Mercury there, the sun there. Okay, so this is really all about your connections with other people, and particularly the people that you are the most intimate with, the closest with. And so part of that, making that connection, giving it longevity and giving it depth, is that you have to open up and share. And that's that vulnerability, is opening up and sharing and trusting in your partner to receive it, but also trusting in yourself to be able to navigate that realm effectively, okay? That realm of sharing and of exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts. The fear that comes up may come from where in times in childhood where you were unable to share, so you may have to overcome some blocks there. But the more you do this, the more you practice this, the easier it becomes, the less fear you have around it. Okay, there's only one way to overcome fear, and that's to do it anyway. And so this week is a really potent time to do that. And you may find that you have no choice. With that eclipse, there may be situations that come at you quick, the Tower, that require your attention. They require your actions quickly, and your actions are to share your opinion, to share your ideas, to share your thoughts with another person. So that is your week this week, Aries. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love reading for you. I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you again next week. Have a beautiful week. Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week, the main event is going to be the solar eclipse happening in Libra on Saturday, okay? So we're building towards that as we move into the week, and we're going to be in that energy all week. The eclipses obviously affect us for up to 6 months, either side. So this is the climactic component of that eclipse. Now, this eclipse is a brand new eclipse in a brand new cycle, okay? So it's the first solar eclipse in this cycle that is in Aries and Libra. So this one's in Libra, which represents your 6th house. So your house of your health, your lifestyle, your daily routines, your habits, okay? So this comes back to your well-being and your self-mastery as well. The other thing that's happening this week is that Mars is moving out of Libra into Scorpio. So that is your 7th house moving into opposite sign, and will be activating your partnerships. So you're looking at partnerships, but you're also looking at your lifestyle and your routine, and possibly your work environment as well. So we have respect your boundaries. It's really important, Taurus, during any sort of heightened activity, that we are keeping our boundaries in check, and honoring our boundaries, upholding our boundaries, making sure that those boundaries are not being crossed, that our needs are being met. Okay, I feel like there is fear here. Well, there is fear here because there's 9 of Swords. So there, and we've got the 4 of Cups. So there's a fear that your needs will not be met. There's a fear that you cannot receive what it is you're looking for. And so there's a boundary violation happening here in some way. Wherever Mars goes, he stirs up a lot of energy. So going into the 7th house, looking at your relationships, he's going to be stirring up either a lot of passion. So there could be a lot of like heightened passionate energy, sexual energy, or he stirs up a lot of anger, right? He's trying to initiate change, and he initiates change through fire. So it's either passion or anger that's coming up here. So whatever happens within your relationships this month, or if you're not in a relationship, whatever triggers you this month, so there could be triggers, okay? It's coming from this space of fear and anxiety, and also not recognizing where there is growth that can be had. So this 4 of Cups is looking at where you are bored, where you are stuck, where you're stagnant. The solar eclipse in your 6th house is really honing your attention onto your lifestyle. It's about looking at your lifestyle and looking at where you can make changes. So you'll have this eclipse cycle until 2025. You'll have some time to really invest in this and looking at your habits, your daily routines, because with the 4 of Cups here, it's like it has become stagnant, right? There's boredom here. There's things are not meeting your needs, but there's this fear with the 9 of Swords of making changes. And I know that, Taurus, that making change is hard for you anyway. As a fixed earth sign, it is a big deal for you to make changes, and you make your changes slowly, and that is okay. But when we are addressing those fears, having to look at where you're in a comfort zone. That's what's being asked of you this week, Taurus. Where is your comfort zone, Four of Cups? And what is your boundaries around that comfort zone? Sometimes our boundaries are too tight, right? They are not fluid enough to allow things to shift and change and move. And so therefore they block us from our expansion, usually out of fear of change, fear of what's new, fear of stepping out of that safety and security of your comfort zone. So that's what you're looking at this week, is your comfort zone and where your comfort zone is not meeting your needs anymore. And also just paying attention to your relationships as well, and anywhere where passion or anger comes up, because that's going to be really important over the next month as we move into Scorpio season at the end of this month. There's going to be this heightened energy around relationships as well. So that is your reading this week, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you. I love reading for you, and I love to see you again next week. Take care. Hello there, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week, the main event, the star event of the week is going to be the solar eclipse happening in Libra. Let two become one. Libra being your fifth house. Okay, so first of all, straight away, the fifth house is the house of romantic partnerships, romances, flings, that early stages, the sort of exciting honeymoon, passionate stages of relationships all falls under the fifth house. So if you are single and looking for a partnership, you may find something fresh, some fresh new energy coming in with that solar eclipse over the weekend, okay, with let two become one. So you may meet somebody, okay. Alternatively, if you're in a relationship, maybe there's a fresh burst of energy comes into your relationships, a bit more excitement, a bit more energy, a bit more passion. And romance, okay. Also, the fifth house is the house of children. So this could be a pregnancy. This could be something that happens there in terms of your children as well, bonding with your children, connecting with your children. This let two become one card is not just about your intimate connections. It can be about connecting with anybody on that heart-to-heart level. I can see that there has been past experiences of pain and heartache, Three of Swords, that may come to the surface. That kind of always is the case whenever energy comes up. It's like you've got to deal with the shadow side and the light side at the same time. So there may be great things coming up that trigger you to look at some shadow things as well this week. The eclipses are going to ask you to dive deeply into your emotional realm. So the moon covers your emotional needs. So having that in the fifth house will be about your emotions around romantic partnerships, around being romantic, about being loving, or with your children, if it's children for you, or your creativity, or your authenticity as well. I love the 9 of coins here. Okay, this means you are standing on your own 2 feet. You're approaching this, coming towards this from a place of independence, right? So there's like 3 different ways we can relate to another person. We can relate to them codependently, which everybody knows what codependence is, really. We've all been there. Then there's independence, which is a step up from codependence, but it's still a separation. It's still not quite the way, it's not ideal. And then there's interdependence. So that's where two whole people come together and make something bigger than themselves, right? So at the moment you're in this independent phase, this 9 of coins, which I love for you, Gemini, because of what's been happening for the start of the year. From the rest of this year has been a big shift. You've had this huge shift in your ascension, in your awakening, in your life has been very tumultuous, and there's been a lot going on. And so to come into this reading from this steady space of 9 of coins and being prepared to open your heart to somebody else, even through this sadness can be healed from that space, Gemini. I really like this. So this eclipse could be very healing for you. Now we do have Mars moving into Scorpio as well on Thursday, and that is going to be activating your 6th house, which is the house of healing. It is the house of physical healing, healing your physical body, so your health and well-being, but also healing your mind, your emotions, your spiritual body, like the whole holistic healing practice. So whatever comes up for you this month, look at where you can find healing, particularly in your connections, or utilizing your connections for healing. So that is your week this week, Gemini. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you next week. Have a really beautiful week and take care. Hello there, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week, the major event, the exciting event that's happening for us this week is the solar eclipse in Libra. Okay, that's happening on Saturday. So that's happening over the weekend. This is especially important for you. Eclipses always are, Cancer, because you're ruled by the moon. So whenever the moon is eclipsed, or is involved in an eclipse, because it's a solar eclipse, it's really has a really profound impact on you, is what I'm trying to say. So that is actually happening though in your 4th house, which makes it doubly more potent, because the 4th house is the house that you naturally rule. It's your natural home and the house that the moon naturally rules. So this is going to be really powerful eclipse cycle for you. This cycle began in April this year. So this is the follow-up, and it will last until 2025. So the next year and a half, these eclipse cycles are going to hit you really hard. They're going to hit home, literally. The 4th house is your house of home, your foundations, where you live, who lives with you, and also your emotional guidance system, your emotional body, okay, is all going to be impacted with this moon. Now, the guidance here is to let go of the old. So this is a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses bring new beginnings, fresh starts, fresh bursts of energy. So there is something to let go of, letting go of what no longer serves you, what is old, and stepping into this fresh energy. That's easier said than done. But what I really, really love about this reading is that there's a King of Coins and a Queen of Coins. It is so beautiful, Cancer, to have these two counterparts come out like this. Okay, so this could be to do with your relationships, okay, because these are these are the relationship cards for each other, the two cards of the coins in the deck. Okay, so it could be you and your partner. It can also be these two aspects of yourself, the masculine and the feminine aspects of yourself, that are being triggered here, okay, that are being brought up for healing, for repair, or that you can tap into for your own guidance. What I'm actually hearing for you though, Cancer, is this is about the mother and the father aspects of your life, okay? So these cards represent the mother and the father, whoever played those roles in your life, whether that's your biological parents, your carers, father figures, mother figures, okay? And your attachment and connection to them. So that's what this cycle is going to be bringing up for you. So we're going back to childhood, letting go of the old. And over the next year and a half, you may go through this quite a few times as we move through the eclipses, okay? So this is some work for you to do here, Cancer. It's going to be profound and life-changing. Anytime we work on childhood stuff, it is profound and life-changing. So for the purpose of this reading, what is important is to look at your attachment style to your mother, look at your attachment style to your father, look at how that all played out, their roles they played for you in your life, how their relationships with you played out, and then looking at how that's translated into your relationships as an adult, and look at how this is how you've continued on a lot of these patterns, okay, that you learnt from them as an adult. It's all going to be coming to the surface quite obviously for you this week, for you to recognize, to identify old patterns that no longer serve you. So we're talking about shifting belief systems, belief structures that you operate from in your subconscious mind, letting go of the old that comes from that mother-father archetype energy, okay? This is big work, Cancer. This is a lot to take on. This is more than just this week, but it's this week is when it's going to become obvious to you, okay? You're going to either start the journey or get to like the climactic part of this journey. So for the purpose of this week, they want you to just look at those attachment styles and those ways of relating, ways of connecting with your parental figures, and start identifying what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and how it's translating into your relationships with everybody else, and particularly your relationship with yourself. So I hope that made sense. A lot of work for you, Cancer. Like I said, these eclipses are always profound, more profound for you than anyone else. So good luck this week. Good luck in that journey. Feel free to drop me a comment down below to let me know how you're going. And I will see you next week. Have a really beautiful week. Take care. Hello there, Leo. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this stellar event that's happening this week is going to be the solar eclipse happening in Libra. That's in your 3rd house, representing your mind, your thought habits, and also your immediate environment. Share your thoughts. Perfect for that solar eclipse. This solar eclipse is the first of the Libra eclipse in this new cycle. So we had the first Aries lunar eclipse in April, and now we're having the corresponding Libra eclipse. So this commences a new cycle that's going to last until 2025 in your 3rd and your 9th house. You'll be working on your perspective, having a perspective shift. You'll be working on your mind, your thought habits, your mental habits, and also this access is also about your immediate environment compared to more foreign, faraway places as well. So something around there could come up for you. We have this share your thoughts card. So a solar eclipse in your 3rd house is encouraging you to really communicate your thinking, communicate how you, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and in association to what you're thinking as well. So you may have ideas come up. A new moon solar eclipse in the 3rd house can bring a lot of ideas bubbling to the surface, a lot of inspiration. King of Wands, okay, we've got the King of Wands here. Inspired thoughts, inspired ideas, inspired conversations as well. So the 3rd house is the house of communication and conversation. So you may end up having a really awesome conversation with someone, and these cards are encouraging you to talk it out with them, to share your thoughts, not to hold back, not to worry that you don't have it right, that you don't have the right thoughts, or you're not thinking, your mental construct is wrong, but to share it and to banter and bounce off other people in your environment. So this King of Wands may be somebody in your environment. The Knight of Cups as well may be somebody that you're associating with, so they can be either you, they represent your energy, or they represent the people that you're sharing your thoughts with, okay? The Knight of Cups is all about moving in a heart-led space. So like I said, sharing your thoughts around your feelings. So the Knight of Cups follows his heart. He's on a heart journey, searching to fill his own cup, to fill his heart with overflowing fullness of abundance and love and joy and all the beautiful creative heart space energy that comes from the Knight of Wands as well. So you may be feeling through this week, or somebody is coming to you with emotional content they're wanting to share with you, and so you can have conversations around that, Leo. The other thing this week is that Mars will move out of Libra into Scorpio, so moving into your 4th house. This brings the emphasis to your home and family, so your immediate environment, the people in your environment, the people within your home. So the King of Wands, Knight of Cups may represent people that you live with or people within your immediate family as well. There's a need to communicate and have these conversations with them. They're both in the upright position, so I really like that. I think they're ready to come to the table, ready to work with you. When Mars is active, it's really pushing for change, to create change, to create a new way of doing things. It influences your willpower and your drive, your motivation, your actions. So it's pushing you to take action within your home environment. Mars will immediately make a trine with Saturn over in Pisces in your 8th house, and so immediately there will be some harmonious energy there. So you may be able to put a little bit more structure, a little bit more of creating more of a foundation, changing things around so there's a more solid foundation within your home environment, within your family, however that looks for you. But it'll be really easy and harmonious doing that, even though Mars and Saturn are both malefic planets. Their purpose, so they can create things that are uncomfortable, but the purpose is still of benefit to us. It's never against us. Everything that happens is always for us. So if something comes up for you, knowing that this is a trine energy anyway, so it is harmonious, but it may feel like uncertain as you're moving through it, or it might feel uncomfortable, or change is always uncomfortable to some extent. So there's a little bit of that there as well. But I think overall this week will be a really enjoyable week for you, Leo. I think that these conversations that are coming up, your ability to share your thoughts and to share your feelings will be actually really healing and nourishing for your soul. So that is your reading for this week. Thank you for being here with me. Have a really beautiful week. Hello there, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly check-in. I'm so glad you're here with me. So this week we have Mars entering Scorpio, going into rulership there. So it'll be very strong, highly activated. Scorpio being your third house, okay? Now, follow the moon has come up because the major event that we are engaging with this week is the solar eclipse in Libra. That's happening on Saturday night. And I think this is going to be a really powerful eclipse for you, particularly Virgo. This is activating your second house. So you're moving into a new cycle of eclipses that are activating your second house and your 8th house, okay? So we have the sun and the moon here, and a solar eclipse is when the sun and the moon come together in the sky so that the sun is eclipsed by the moon, right? So this is really actively drawing our attention to that solar eclipse that's happening on the Saturday in your second house. Now this is, with the sun here, is a really, really positive experience. This is going to be really bring a lot of positive change. A solar eclipse can bring new beginnings. It brings new energy, fresh burst of energy. And with the Queen of Cups here, this is about following your intuition, following your emotions, following how it feels. So it's really important to feel your way through this moon. Now, a moon in the second house. The second house represents our possessions, our material wealth, our security, like money. But the undertone of that, the emotional component to that, Queen of Cups, the moon, the emotional component is self-worth. Okay, it is self-esteem. It is security, like inner security within. So if you have insecurities, or if you have low self-worth, or if there's any way that you don't feel that those emotions, right, that can come to the surface during this moon, and possibly that is what you will be shifting with these new eclipse cycles, okay, Virgo? So the eclipse cycle on this Libra Aries eclipse cycle will last until 2025. And with the 8th house, second house axis for you, it's about your empowerment, how powerful you feel in your own life. So the empowerment comes from our own sense of self, knowing ourselves, being there for ourselves, supporting ourselves, guiding ourselves, relying on ourselves. That's where empowerment comes from. Validating ourselves. So not looking externally for resources, not looking externally for love or validation or justification, but doing that on the internal level. So if there's any problems there for you, Virgo, if there's anywhere where you struggle with that, or you're still learning that, these are emerging skills for you, that will be a powerful message under this moon for you. And to follow the emotive quality of here, the Queen of Cups reminds you to be gentle, to be compassionate. It reminds you that you are an intuitive being, so to feel your way through it, that feelings will be important with follow the moon. And so just using those emotions this week is going to be super important for you, Virgo. I like this solar eclipse, okay? Even if it's a struggle during this time and over the next 6 months as everything unfolds with it, even if it does highlight a lot of gaps within your own self-worth, that's a positive thing, because it's giving you this opportunity to make adjustments, to make changes, to do something about it, so that you can step into your full power and be a powerful person. Okay, so that is your reading this week, Virgo. Thank you for being here with me. Have a really beautiful week. Hello there, Libra. Welcome to your weekly check-in. How are you feeling? We have this solar eclipse taking place in your first house. This is the first one for you on this axis, okay? We did start this axis, this cycle in April with the Aries lunar eclipse on the 20th of April. So that began it. That was in your opposite 7th house. But now we're in your sign. So this is highlighting you, who you are, the journey that you're on. And the card that's come out for you is love, that you are different, right? So this is about celebrating yourself, Libra, celebrating who you are, celebrating your uniqueness, your creative flair is what I'm hearing. Okay, you are a very creative sign because you're ruled by Venus, and Venus is a creative planet, creative energy. So celebrating that creativity, which makes you unique. So we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, okay? And that's just a part of life. So there's things that you're going to be naturally, innately good at, and there's things that are going to be more challenging for you, more difficult for you. You can put energy into that. You can develop, you can build skills, build strategies, okay? There's ever evolving, ever changing cycle to life that you're building. But recognizing the way that you're doing that is by loving yourself into being, loving yourself into this evolution. So this cycle of eclipses, and particularly this eclipse this week in your first house, is really going to be bringing your attention to yourself, to your strengths, to your weaknesses, to where you want to develop and where you can make changes in your personality, in your character, in who you are. Maybe it's your physical body too. All right, so this is this ability to do that work now, but from a very loving place. This is from a gentle place, not beating on yourself, not hating yourself into a change, into being different. Okay, that doesn't work. It never works. The only thing that ever works is loving yourself into being different. So understanding your value, understanding your worth. We do have Mars moving into Scorpio this week as well, moving into your 2nd house. So that's going to be bringing attention to your worth. And with the 9 of Wands here, it does tell me that you have been through a lot. We did just have Venus retrograde back in July and August. That was in your 11th house. Venus is your ruling planet. So maybe that has something to do with it, you know, that could have created an upheaval within your friendships, within your social circles, within your social networks. Possibly there was things to work out there. We also had a Mercury retrograde not long ago in your 12th house. That also would have created upheaval because it makes you look very deeply at your subconscious. So things coming out of the subconscious. Now we have these eclipse cycles in your 1st house and your 7th house, bringing that emphasis to how you relate to your one-on-one connections, your intimate partnerships. Okay, it's a lot. So the 9 of Wands here is telling you that you have come so far. And even if you're feeling, like worn out or tired, you have achieved so much. So celebrating what you've achieved so far. That's a really beautiful way to use this solar eclipse, Libra. Celebrate yourself. And the King of Coins here really putting that stability in place and recognizing that you're reaching to create more stability for yourself, for your life, within your personality, within the way you view yourself, wanting to create more abundance for yourself. So having that abundant mindset, having the abundant, not just abundant mindset in terms of money, but in terms of all resources in life, right? Abundant in time, abundant in finances, abundant in love, abundant in friendships, abundant in joy, abundant in adventure, abundant in comfort, or whatever it is for you. There's this ability to step into a new role in your life, a more leader type role that is abundant. The way we do that, obviously, is by looking after ourselves first. So it's really important, as well as what they're telling me, is you need to know it's really important to nurture yourself through this moon. This moon is going to be powerful. It's going to come in quick and strong. And so you need to be really tending to yourself, taking care of yourself, Libra. Okay, that is your week. Really positive energy. Good luck with this solar eclipse. I'd love to hear how it's influenced you in the comments down below. Have a really beautiful week. Take care. Hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly readings. So this week we have this solar eclipse happening in Libra that represents your 12th house. It is a challenging place to have an eclipse cycle in your 12th and 6th house. It does activate a lot of different things, but it can activate your health and your well-being. And it can activate as well, you are letting go and need to surrender and let go at this time. So with the 12th house Libra aspect this week, that's what's coming up for you, this surrendering. Now, it says this card says time to ground. So the 12th house is very spiritual. It's a very spiritual house. It's a very imaginative house. Okay, so you may be feeling really pulled into your imagination, into the spirit realm, and the cards are reminding you to ground that into reality, ground that into your life. So if you're feeling really pulled away from the world at this time, especially emotionally, 8 of Cups, could be very emotional for you, Scorpio, this moon. So the 12th house is called the house of the undoing because things unravel there, right? So things are undone, they're sort of removed. Anything that's not able to go forward with us in our lives gets removed when that 12th house is activated. So it's a positive thing because it's like a clearing, it's like a decluttering, a clearing out of the wardrobe, clearing the environment, preparing for something new to come in, but it doesn't feel comfortable when you're going through it. So maybe there's something missing in your life, 8 of Cups, okay, that on an emotional level, maybe you're just not being emotionally fulfilled in some way. There's something in your life that isn't quite fulfilling you, but maybe you're holding on to it out of like longevity. This is just how it's always been, or this is safe. But the universe knows better for you. It has better things for you and to replace it with, but in order to do that, you have to clear the way for it. So there needs to be a space in your life for it. So this eclipse may be creating space in your life, which can be very uncomfortable when those kinds of things happen. So that's why this grounding energy is here. It's important to focus on the emotive quality of it, okay? The emotions that are missing, that will be an indicator where you are emotionally triggered or what emotions are feelings of lack come up in whatever way that is. That will help you to sort of understand and unravel, okay, this is what's coming out. And this eclipse cycle will last until 2025. So it's a really good idea to use this eclipse to get an understanding of the work that you'll be doing over the next year and a bit. Now, Mars will move into your sign, so your ruler in your own sign, a very powerful position. So Mars will move in on Thursday into Scorpio and will be activating Scorpio, okay? So that will feel good. Now, I know that you've just gone through a lot of 12th house activity. It's still 12th house season, Libra season until for the next couple of weeks. That does bring that, like I said, that ungrounded energy, because it is that head space, that spiritual space. It's where we connect with the divine. So it does require meditation, it requires rest, it requires seclusion. It's hard to go out and be physically active, to be socially active when the 12th house is heightened like this. But Mars moving into your first house will be the beginning of moving into your first house. So 6 of Wands, okay, so Mars will help to give you that boost of energy, that boost of recognition. With the 6 of Wands, maybe people are noticing you, people are recognizing you, and it's going to give you a bit of a boost through all of this, okay? So the other thing with the 6 of Wands is it is a nod to the fact that this will be okay, this will be successful, whatever that is being released, whatever you are surrendering at this time, you will come out on top, you will come out victorious, you'll come out a winner, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. So that is your week this week, Scorpio. Thank you for being here with me. Have a really safe and gentle week. Be gentle on yourself. Take this time to meditate, to be with yourself, to be in nature, to ground yourself, okay? Because Scorpio season is only a few weeks away, and then things will be changing then anyway. So just take this time. And I will see you next week. Take care. Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly check-in. This week, the major event is that solar eclipse that's happening in Libra. Now that represents your 11th house, and the 11th house is the house where we look at our overall picture of our life. So how far we've come and how far we want to go, where we want to go next. So this is looking at, Okay, your major hopes, dreams, and wishes. And we have heed your dreams. I love this card for you this week. This solar eclipse is the first solar eclipse in this cycle, okay, that we've started in the 11th house, 5th house axis for you. And so this eclipse will be bringing up fresh energy, fresh new beginnings, okay, in terms of your dreams. So this is a reminder to not give up on anything that you've dreamed of. And the dreams we're talking about, they're the major ones. We're talking about big dreams, okay? In the 11th house, we're not just talking about, that you're not just talking about dreaming of buying a new couch. We're talking about how you want your family to look, where you want to live, what kind of job you want, what kind of adventures you want to have, what kind of experiences you want to have in this lifetime, over the lifetime. So this is the kind of stuff we're looking at with this new eclipse cycle, and this eclipse will show you some of that this week. Now on Thursday, Mars will move into Scorpio, move into rulership in Scorpio. Okay, Mars rules the death card. We have the death card here. And Mars is shifting into Scorpio, which represents your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of undoings and endings. So Mars ruling death and transformation, change in 12th house of endings and undoings. It's very likely that there will be some sort of ending, some sort of transformation, something unraveling in your life, and maybe in alignment with that eclipse as well, with the new beginning. So something may need to be shed from your life, to be taken from your life in order for you to create space for something new to come in. So know that I know this is not comfortable. It's not an easy energy. It's not an easy experience ever to have to surrender something in our lives. But whatever it is, just know from the bottom of your heart that this is about clearing space. So something will come in to replace it, something better, something more in alignment with your major life goals will come in to replace it, but it may not happen straight away. And that's the scary bit, that's the bit where it requires faith, and it requires trust, and it requires this continual focus on your dream. Maintaining and establishing a consistent vibrational a link to those dreams coming in whilst you can't see them. Now, the Nine of Wands does tell me that you may be feeling very worn out, feeling tired, feeling like life has been beating on you, maybe Sagittarius. Life's been hard. Whatever's been removed may feel like a really big blow. And that, like I said, it's all good and well knowing that you're making space for something new to come in, but when you can't see the new thing coming in, it's hard to maintain the positive outlook, the positive energy. So with the Nine of Wands, it's just that indication. It's the nod to persevering. So it's the card of perseverance. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't give up on a major dream that you've had for yourself. No matter how impossible it seems, keep focused on it, stay consistent, keep your vibration in alignment with it, and it has to manifest. That it is law. It's not always easy to do that, but the cards are telling you to keep persevering, keep being persistent. So that is your reading for the week, Sag, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a really, really beautiful week. Take care. Hello there, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week we have Pluto moving direct in your first house. That happens on Wednesday, okay? A new day dawns. So this new energy, Pluto brings in transformation, brings in a rebirth, death and rebirth type energy as Pluto starts to shift forward. This is something you've been working on for many years, since 2008. Okay, so Pluto is moving out of your sign into Aquarius over the next few years. So this is like the finalizing, that rebirthing energy. There's new opportunities to take power in your life, Nine of Coins, to become more empowered in your daily life. This has been the whole point to it, to give you power and authority over your own life. Now, the main event that's happening this week for us is a solar eclipse happening in Libra over the weekend on Saturday. So that represents your 10th house. Now, solar eclipses are new beginnings, a new day dawns. So this fresh energy is coming in. Okay. This is like it's the first solar eclipse in this eclipse cycle that will be happening in your 10th house and 4th house until 2025. So this is the first one. It sets the tone, it sets the theme, new things coming in for you. With your 10th house, it is about your work, okay? Your working life, your career, your purposeful work, your meaningful work. 9 of Coins, it's also your financial freedom. It's about maintaining or creating freedom financially, particularly, but also in your physical realm. So becoming self-sufficient, becoming independent, really taking that next step in your working life, okay, in your physical life. So maybe this is about your resources, maybe it's a house, buying a house, or getting a new job or something like that, taking that next step. The 10th house is where we build our empire, the empire you're building around yourself, and that's what you're creating for yourself. There's this new story coming in, newness to that, okay? We have the Page of Cups here, a reminder, a nod towards following your emotional guidance system. So the 4th house, which is on the other side of the axis, is all about your emotions, your inner realm, your emotional realm. So remembering that is important, that these two, the inner realm and the outer realm, are balanced, are harmonious, okay? This is the way we co-create with this moon, by tapping into your emotional guidance system, tapping into your own personal empowerment is what I'm hearing for you, Capricorn. Taking back your power, making empowerment important to you. By the way that we do that is by becoming this self-sufficient, self-generative, partnering. Okay, so creating life from the inside out, Capricorn. That's how we self-generate. So we're taking our awareness off other people. We're taking back our power from other people by taking responsibility for ourselves. Now, Capricorn's responsibility is very important to you. You take responsibility very seriously as a Capricorn. You take your goals and your ambitions very seriously. Okay, so this is this opportunity to step into that. With the 10th house, possibly you are put into a leadership position. The 10th house can be about taking responsibility, becoming an authority figure even, or dealing with authority figures. But I feel with the 9 of Coins, you're stepping into that role, stepping into a leadership role. This may be new Page of Cups, new emotional terrain, or new terrain to navigate. A new day is dawning. But it's something that you're so ready for because it's coming off the back of your skills, your talents, the things you've been building over many, many years, particularly with Pluto there. So, so taking that step forward with a greater sense of power and control over your own life is what the theme will be for you this week, Capricorn. So that is your weekly reading. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care. Hello there, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week we have a major solar eclipse happening in Libra, sparking a new day. A new day dawns. So solar eclipses are new beginnings. They're fresh starts, fresh bursts of energy. This one particularly because it's the first solar eclipse in this new eclipse cycle that will last until 2025. So it's got an extra burst of fresh energy because it's the first one. So it'll be setting the tone. It will be setting the themes. It will be helping us to start to understand and unravel what we'll be working with through these eclipses. On your 9th house and your 3rd house axis. So this is all about your perspective, your life perspective, your faith, your values, what you learn, okay, what you can teach. So in any way in your life, if you're a teacher, if you're a student, that's really impacted here. Also like learning from other perspectives. Travel, foreign places, foreign people may come up for you during this eclipse as well. Something brand new, something that you haven't investigated or you haven't explored in the past. It's very exciting, exploratory, expansive energy. Okay, new conversations may be sparked. Ace of Swords may come up for you through this eclipse that shift your mindset, shift your perspective, shift your understanding or the meaning that you apply. So this is very cognitive work you'll be doing. You'll be working on your belief systems, your foundational belief systems, your structures, your cognitive structures, your narratives, the stories you tell yourself. That's the kind of stuff that these eclipses will be activating. So this Ace of Swords, getting more clear, getting more precise mindset, a supportive mindset, one that helps you to build into a new place, to expand into a new space in your life. I can see here with the Four of Coins that there is resistance, okay? The Four of Coins does feel like you're holding on to old ways. So there may, if there is challenges here, if there's difficulties this week with this eclipse coming in, it's because you're holding on to things that need to be released, need to be surrendered and let go of, like maybe a specific belief. Maybe you have a core belief that has been protecting you for so long, but has also been limiting you for so long. And so these eclipses come in and they start to activate the need to replace old beliefs. And if these beliefs, the way that will happen is that these beliefs will be triggered so that they become to the surface, so that you can wrap some consciousness around them. You can see them, you can feel them, you can understand them, so that you can release them, so that you can change them. But the first thing that happens whenever this happens, right, is we have to become aware of it. And the way that the universe makes us aware of it is by making us live through it. So if you're uncomfortable, if uncomfortable things come up, know that it's the universe trying to show you where you're keeping yourself small, where you're limiting yourself, keeping yourself blocked, the things that you want to hold on to out of a sense of fear, that your safety will be threatened if you were to release those beliefs. So an example of this could be like a belief that intimate relationships aren't safe, okay, for example. And so this belief has kept you safe because you haven't engaged in intimate relationships for a very long time. And so therefore nobody's been able to come into your life to rock your boat, to shake up your world. The downside of that is nobody's been able to come into your life to rock your boat, shake up your world, right? So the downside of it is that you miss out on the richness, the enriching part of that, the connection, the love, the gratitude and appreciation, all the beautiful things that a loving relationship flows into your world. You miss out on that, but this belief also has this secondary, it meets the secondary need of keeping you safe. So it may be scary to let go of, it would be scary to let go of that belief, especially if you feel like it's been working for you for so long, but this new dawn, these new ideas, these new perspectives, something fresh is coming in. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a realization. It can be a realization with that 9th house that you want those connections. And then therefore, okay, if you want those connections, then that belief needs to change. And that can be hard, especially if you've been holding that belief for a long time. So it might, I'm just using the connection as an example. Apply this to whatever belief comes up for you in your life. But yes, this is time to start shaping your beliefs to match the desired outcome that you want for your life, Aquarius. Instead of living your life based on the beliefs you hold, change your beliefs to live the life, change your beliefs to meet the needs of the life that you're dreaming of having, if that makes sense. So that is your week this week, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here. I love reading for you. Thank you for being a part of this and letting me be a part of your journey. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Hello there, Pisces. Welcome to your weekly check-in. So this week, the main event is going to be this solar eclipse happening in Libra. Now that is in your 8th house, okay? And so that's activating this new journey, and it's the first solar eclipse for the next series of eclipses that will last until 2025. So it's activating a new journey, and this is to do with your own sense of empowerment. But what I'm feeling for you is it's to do with your vulnerabilities, your ability to be vulnerable, okay? So you've got this Know You Belong card here. So there's 2 messages here with that card. Firstly, on Wednesday, Pluto will move direct in Capricorn. That represents your 11th house, and your 11th house is the house of belonging. It's where you belong in the world. It's where you belong within your community. So it represents communities. It represents organizations that you belong to. It represents your friendship circles, your networks. It represents your the people that you work with, your work networks, your friendship networks. Okay, so where you belong is the underlying undertone of the 11th house, is where you belong and how you belong. Now, Pluto has been doing this work, this transformative work. The Pluto is death and rebirth, okay, on where you belong and where you fit in this world for a long time. And as it moves direct this week, it's going to be giving you this fresh burst of energy, this rebirth and the phoenix rising kind of energy in your belonging. So you may re-engage with friendship circles, with networks, social networks, with organizations, whatever that looks like for you. Now, I feel like tying that in with the eclipse that's happening in the 8th house, the eclipse is asking, the eclipse is looking at your personal empowerment, but it's also asking you to tap into your vulnerabilities and to use your vulnerabilities to create more power and more control in your life. And so part of this feeling a sense of belonging is really going to be about being able to be vulnerable. And in being vulnerable, you have the opportunity to experience the richness of life, right? So anywhere where we have to be vulnerable, on the other side of that vulnerability is the things that we want. So if you think about it, like if you are in a relationship, you need to be vulnerable in order to connect deeply, right? If you want to do well at work and you've got a big presentation, you have to be vulnerable to make that presentation in order to go to the next level of your job, right? So like anywhere that you really are going to get something you really want requires some level of vulnerability. And so that this can be applied to your friendships too. If you want deep friendships, if you want to belong to a certain community or a certain organization, you need to be able to be vulnerable in order to connect deeply to those people that are involved there. Now, as Brené Brown always says, the opposite to connection is actually belonging. It's not loneliness like you would think, is belonging. And so this is an opportunity with Pluto, and Pluto has been pushing this storyline for a while in your life of like where you actually belong or where you fit in, what you do to fit in to belong, that blocks you from actually connecting deeply. So you're going to have this opportunity to look at that this week. And with that 8th house, to dive deep into your emotional realm. Now, the 4 of Swords here does tell you to take that space, take that time out to meditate, to contemplate, to be with yourself, to be with what comes up for you this week. It may be very emotional, okay? And things are moving fast, 8 of Wands. Things are moving really fast for you, Pisces. So knowing that you may feel overwhelmed is what I'm feeling. There's like this overwhelming feeling for you. This moon is quite a big energy. We've got Mars moving into your 9th house, into Scorpio in rulership on Thursday as well. And so with that Mars moving into your 9th house, there may be this big burst of fresh energy there as well. So people may be coming into your life. There may be people from foreign places. You may be like a burst of travel. Maybe you're going traveling, or maybe travel's coming to you, or whatever it is. And so there's a lot here. Like, where do you fit in the world? Do you fit where you live, or do you fit on the other side of the world, So that's your week this week, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you again next week. Take care.